All right, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming out on Valentine's evening to learn about Horace Mann Lab School. We have lots of exciting things to share with you. We've got lots of pictures to show you of our school. And most importantly, we have some staff here, including one of our pre-K teachers and our two kindergarten teachers who are going to share lots of information about what they do in their classroom. And we are able to answer questions in between any of the speakers. So feel free to put your questions. I believe you can put them in the chat feature, and I'm going to be the one mostly fielding that at this point. So I'm going to kick us off with just as a reminder, this is recorded, and Jensen already went over all the interpretation features. And I want to let you know right off the beginning that we're going to give you lots of good information about the school, but to really find out the most, you should connect with our family engagement facilitator, Maria Arias, and her phone number is 978-778-4597, and she can set up a tour for you in the next few weeks and in March, and she speaks Spanish. So first, I'd like my team to introduce themselves, say their name and their role, and share one thing that they think is special about Horace Mann.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kate Burns. I am the school adjustment counselor, so I work with grades K through 5. I think one of the wonderful things about Horace Mann is the sense of community that we have. Principal Windsor will be talking more about this later, but we have put in place some wonderful things to build the sense of community in our school. And it's a great vibe. The teachers really care about the kids, and I think that students are really happy to be there. So.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lisa Collins. I'm a kindergarten teacher at Horace Mann. If I were to, let's see, something special about Horace Mann. So I will say that it's the school that I chose for my own kids. And they went to school at Horace Mann before I was a teacher there. So it's my neighborhood school. At least it was when we were at the old building. But it's the school I chose because it was had a good feel to it. I felt at home the minute I walked in the door. And I think my kids had that same sense. So that's what I would say.
And I would concur because my own daughter is a student at Horace Mann, and I have my youngest will be coming into hopefully the preschool at Horace Mann soon enough. So obviously I wouldn't have my children go to a school that I didn't put a lot of faith into. So I think it's a great environment.
Hi, everyone. My name's Miss Kavanaugh, and I teach pre-K at Horace Mann. One thing about Horace Mann that I've noticed, it's very welcoming and inclusive, especially to our youngest learners. We have really big classrooms, our own little wing, our own entrance, our own playground, yet we're still included in all the specialist classes and school events and assemblies. So the pre-K friends really, it's their school too.
I don't think we can hear Diane, right? Okay.
Diane, unplug your headphones. Jen, you're muted.
Why don't you try, Diane, try logging out and logging back in, and maybe that will do the trick. So in the meantime, we will move on and we'll come back to Diane so she can share her answer. I would agree with everything that you all have shared. Just today, somebody came to meet with me who works in the district, and as he was leaving, he was just complimenting the feel in the school. And I get that a lot from visitors. They're like, it's just warm and inviting, and the students seem very happy. And I think it's a great compliment and speaks to all the great things we do have going on at Horace Mann. All right, so as a reminder, this is being recorded and we are going to be moving along. Then next, we're going to hear from each member on our call about our early childhood programming, and one thing in particular about their own classroom that makes their own space special. And as they talk, I'm going to be showing some images, some pictures that they took of their classrooms, and they'll also be able to share some more details about the specifics of the academics in the different grade levels. And after that, we can take some questions. I can go over some of the upcoming deadlines, and then at the end, we have some slides to show you, and we can talk about some of the fun special activities we have at the school. So first, I'm going to have Krista start talking about pre-K. And Diane, I think we can hear you again.
Okay.
Say something? Yes, now we can. Actually, I'm going to hold off on Krista. Why don't you share again, because we didn't hear any of that.
I apologize.
Okay.
So my name is Diane Downey, and I'm one of the kindergarten teachers. And I would agree that we have a wonderful community feel. You get the sense of community when you walk in the front door. We have a great inclusive staff. Many have chosen to be at Horace Mann for many years. I am one of them. And we have lots of students from the college that come in and have been our teaching fellows and are now on staff. So we have a nice blend of different educators on board for your students as well. So that really does give a different sort of twist to our school as well, which is great.
Is Kavanaugh from pre-K.
Hello. So one thing that makes my classroom special is it's inclusive, welcoming, and most importantly, student-centered. Students are engaged throughout the day with hands-on learning centers and thematic play-based learning, which has been a big push this year with our new 3 cheers for pre-K curriculum, learning through different themes throughout the year and learning through play. We can check out some pictures of my classroom. This is our classroom library where we have different seats. We have bean bags. We have a little calm down corner and some different books to read. And this is one of our dramatic play centers. This is our kitchen. And this is a little look at our rug. We use the smartboard in a lot of different lessons and different seating for different students' needs. And our rules and our schedule, everything is really visual, organized, colorful, just a place where students want to come and learn every day. So a typical day in pre-K is students come in and they start the day with breakfast if they would like. Students come to the rug and we conduct a morning meeting. We go over the calendar. We say good morning to each other. We talk about any big events for the day or any changes in our schedule. We discuss our theme. So for an example, a recent theme was community helpers. So we'll discuss our theme and our essential questions. And then we get into our read aloud, which always connects to our theme. And we preview some new vocabulary words that relate to the theme as well. And then we move on to literacy circle. So a literacy circle might be learning the letter of the week. We learn one letter every week. We learn the letter sound, how to write the letter. Then we move on to academic centers. So these centers would align with some of our academic focuses would be letter ID, name writing, counting, describing shapes. Then students in pre-K get 2 recesses a day, which is great. And we have snack. Then we move on to a math circle, which might include activities, counting games, number ID. And then students also go to specials. So that's when they will have a rotating special schedule: PE, music, art, library. After lunch, they eat lunch in the cafeteria, and then they go to recess again. And then we end our day with more play-based centers that some of them align to our theme. So some examples would be art, kitchen, blocks, Legos. Another example, if our theme is community helpers, you might find students making a recipe, cooking food in the kitchen. So everything is aligning back to our theme. And our main academic focus for pre-K is learning our letters and our letter sound, using our new vocabulary that we've learned, and asking and answering questions in books read aloud. Also, another academic focus is early math skills, such as counting, identifying and describing shapes, and measurement. So those are just some of our math skills. And also we want our students to learn the rules, routines, how to be a community member of a classroom, and really those kindergarten readiness skills. So after pre-K, students are ready to go and have a strong start in kindergarten. And that is it. If anyone has any questions, can let me know. Oh, you're muted, Ms. Windsor.
So I'm just going to repeat how to go about scheduling a tour. Somebody asked that in the Q&A. So you want to, the person you're going to connect with is Maria Arias. She's our family engagement facilitator. Her phone number is 978-778-4597, and she can set you up for a tour. So we're actually going to move to one of our kindergarten teachers now to talk about some different things from her classroom, and I'll put up some images.
Hello, I'm Diane Downey. Can you hear me? And I'm here to chat a little bit about kindergarten and what it's like in kindergarten. And there are some parallels between pre-K and kindergarten, but in kindergarten, we start doing, the academics become a little bit more. We start our day like in pre-K. We have breakfast in the classroom, as all students at Horace Mann do. This picture right here is a wonderful picture of ST Math, which is one part of during our day. And we have some 5th grade math helpers that come down to support the kindergarten students, which has been great for the 5th graders, as well as building confidence in our kindergartners as well. Oh, there's Star of the Day. So one great thing in kindergarten that's very special and near and dear to me is Star of the Day. It really builds self-confidence, and kids really get very excited to sit in the star chair and be the leader and do all of those fun sort of teacher helper activities. There's some pictures here of different parts of the day, but I think I'm going to start going through some of what you would see in a typical day. So these are some different pictures of math activities. We start the day with breakfast. We go into morning meeting like pre-K, but then we head into math. And these are some pictures of some math centers that you see. We use the Eureka Math program that is district-wide incentive at all the different public schools in Salem. And it's very hands-on, teaching the different standards kindergarten standards. We start the beginning of the year with counting and cardinality, where kids are putting numbers in order, number formation, and all the different basic counting. And it goes through counting and it goes into weight and measurement. We are learning about addition and subtraction at this point now, decomposing numbers, but we have a hands-on approach. So we start our math lesson with a focus lesson. We go into math centers and we always debrief at the end. And you see, that's my paraprofessional with a small group of students working with materials. Everything is very hands-on. We go from math and then we head into specialists. Kids go to specialists every single day. Mrs. Collins will talk a little bit more about what happens there. They go from specials, they come back, they have snack, and we have ELA. We go from ELA, we have centers, we have a focus lesson. The kids are doing play-based, all kinds of great things. Mrs. Collins will talk a little bit about that. Then we will have lunch and recess. Students go out to the playground and they have their own little playground that they go to. We come in, and as you saw in one of the slides, we have ST math time. And my students are so excited to have Gigi is a little penguin, and it's again a district-wide incentive that students are solving puzzles. And it's been such a motivation to learn all of the fundamental math skills. We have that. And we also have, depending on the day, we have either science, social studies, and SEL blocked into our schedule. And we rotate it. At the end of the day, we have an SEL time, which is a social emotional learning time, which is a time for our kindergartners to learn how to be friends with each other and learn basic sort of cooperation skills. It's a playtime, but it's also a time where we have different themes of how kids can care for each other using kind words, how to share their feelings and express themselves. And we prepare for dismissal, and that is a typical day in kindergarten.
Thank you so much, Ms. Downey. And thank you so much to my team for just going ahead and answering the questions in the Q&A. Hugely helpful. All right, moving right along to Ms. Collins.
Hi, everyone. So I will say that one of the things that I like about my classroom is how engaging that everybody is with each other. And I will say I have a very social bunch this year, and it's kind of nice to see because they are, everybody gets along with everybody. So I'm really happy about that. Like, we have very few like problems with each other. So they're doing a really good job, like standing up for each other and helping each other and just being good friends. So that's kind of nice to see. So I want to talk a little bit about our literacy program. Our literacy program is, my view, it's a Pearson program, and it's very comprehensive, and it has all the elements of a good literacy program. It starts with a lot of phonemic awareness or some fundamental beginning skills. So phonemic awareness and phonics is a big part of that, learning their letters and taking over where pre-K left off, and learning what to do with those letters. So not only letter names and letter sounds, but some basic spelling and learning sight words and things like that. And then it also has some very high quality literature attached to it. So we read stories every day, and a lot of those stories that they're learning, it's all about comprehension. So we learn about fiction and nonfiction and narrative nonfiction and fairy tales, and there's all different genres of stories that we read. And the literature that is provided is really high quality. We have decodable books, we have leveled readers. So there's a whole bunch of materials that we have access to and that the kids become readers by using. And and a lot of those books that we have also have a social studies and a science connection. So it's very comprehensive in the way that we can address some of our social studies and science standards right along with literature. So it's been a really good addition. This is our second year of implementation, so we're still digging in and learning it, but so far so good. So I think the kids are making a lot of progress by using that. And also, I want to talk a little bit about our specialists. So during the day, like Diane mentioned, that they go to either art, PE, music, or library. And I will say that our specialist team is amazing. So they collaborate a lot together. Right now they it's because it's Black History Month, they've been doing a collaborative project. They're all working, and Diane and I are also working with Paige Cabello, our art teacher, and to do some action steps surrounding racism and culturally responsive teaching. So it's been great collaborating with her. So they are really in tune to culturally responsive teaching. Paige does themes every month or so. Every few weeks, there's something new and creative going on in the art room. Kids love going to art. Our PE teacher is probably the best PE teacher I've ever seen ever. She includes many aspects of other curriculum other than PE. So if kids are learning, I know in third grade, I think they learn about the water cycle. She does something in PE about the water cycle. In kindergarten, if we are learning letters and numbers, she does a lot of that in PE. So she addresses so many curriculum areas, and it's pretty wonderful to see. And then our music teacher, Mrs. Anderson, also has some very culturally responsive teaching practices as well. She, teaches them songs and instruments from different places, different countries, different cultures, and she puts on 2 concerts a year as well. So in the spring and in the fall, or winter, I will say, winter and fall and spring. And as the kids progress, they learn recorder in third grade, and then when they hit 4th and 5th grade, they can learn an instrument. So we have a great specialist team. I love working with them, and I think that we're lucky to have them.
Hi, everyone. So as a school adjustment counselor, I have a couple different roles at the school. One is kind of in a clinical capacity. I do the individual and group counseling with students that, when it's needed for those students. I also consult with teachers, support teachers with implementing social emotional curriculum in the classrooms, behavior management, anything that teachers might need. I do meet with them. It is a pleasure working at Horace Mann, because I will say that we put a huge emphasis on social emotional curriculum at the school. I know Ms. Collins was just talking about how much the specialists use it, and the teachers do as well. The school is currently using Quaver, which is a social emotional curriculum that's used on a daily basis with the students. It is based around the five castle, and it's called the Castle 5. So there's self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. Those are the 5 components that Quaver addresses. The kids absolutely love it. It is a very music-based curriculum. There's also a lot of interactive pieces to it, which the kids really enjoy. So I think the kids get quite a bit out of it, which is really nice to see. We also have here at the school something called CARES values. And the CARES values is something that is talked about frequently. And we also just implemented something called the Husky Heroes, where students who are demonstrating one of the CARES values is recognized every Friday. One student from every homeroom gets to take a picture with the principal. It gets a certificate. It's a really neat new thing that we're doing at the school, and the kids really seem to enjoy it. So the CARE values are collaborative, classmate, active problem solver, responsible decision maker, empathetic community member, and safe choice maker. So the kids are really learning all of those different values through the course of the day, which is really nice. So like I said earlier, my daughter goes to Horace Mann. She's a first grader. She had an amazing kindergarten experience, learned so much. She is in first grade, reading at a higher than first grade level, which I attribute hugely to her kindergarten experience. I think she had a wonderful teacher, Miss Collins. And I think she really enjoys school. So I can't say enough about the kindergarten program at Horace Mann. I think it's really wonderful. And my youngest will now qualify to go into the preschool, which my friend's daughter has Miss K actually as a teacher, and her daughter's actually sad when there's no school. So that will tell you how much she enjoys going to the preschool. So.
Thank you so much, Ms. Burns. I'm just going to share a little bit of information, but first I'm going to share the phone number again to set up a tour. It's 978-778-4598. So that would be to talk to Maria Arias at our school, and she does speak Spanish. And then I'm going to do a screen share, just going to show you the upcoming deadlines to register for any school that you choose. We hope that you choose Horace Mann, but we have it starts with kindergarten registration, and then we move into a pre-K lottery. So we do this year for the different schools that have a pre-K, we did have a wait list. So it's very special to be able to have the pre-K program, the full day program that we have. So these are some deadlines. If you have questions about the registration process, you should also call that same number that I just mentioned and talk to Maria, and she can help you, walk you through the process. You do have to gather some materials. We have a parent information center, and she can kind of support you in connecting with them. They're located within the Collins Middle School. So next thing we're going to do is we actually do have time, I think, to go through some slides. So if you want, I can actually put these up, and I think Ms. Burns is going to share a little bit so we can show you a couple pictures of, let me do my screen share first. Some more pictures and a few more things about the cultural, the different activities. We have some family engagement activities and okay, let me do the slideshow here. Okay, there we go. I'm going to skip. We don't need that. Let's just jump right into it. Okay, here's a picture.
So something new that we started this year is what we call the houses. This is a new initiative that we're doing. Another school in the district has been using it as well. The kids absolutely love it. So when there's a half day, the kids don their t-shirt for whatever house they're in, and they head in. It's a mix of K through 5. So the kids are randomly placed into a house. And so it's a great opportunity for the kids to get to know kids from other grades. So for example, a first grader gets to hang out with a fourth grader. They would probably have no other opportunity to do that. So it's a great way to build a sense of community. So each house is a different color, as you can see. They have their own kind of chant, so to speak. They have their own background as to what the house means. Ms. Windsor, do you want to go through all the house names?
Sure, I can really quickly. This is on the left, green is called Isabindi, and the program, it's pre-K through 5. And this was we just opened up to the pre-K kiddos. The red is called Amistad. The purple is Nuka Mori. And then, so Nuka Mori is the House of Kindness. And then blue is Revere, the House of Dreamers. And then here we have our mascot, Harold, the husky, and he came here to talk with the students at our last early release day.
Harold is a hit. Kids love Harold. So in addition to the houses, we've also put together something called relationship mapping, which is a really exciting thing that we're doing, where students who appear to have some social emotional needs at this point in time are paired with a staff that's in their house. So when they have house time for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, those students are given an opportunity to build a closer relationship with that particular staff. It's not necessarily a staff that they see consistently. So it's nice because they get to know staff from throughout the school, not just their classroom teacher, but it might be a different grade teacher or like the math coach, whomever it may be. So it really kind of gives them a chance to meet new adults, but also feel like they matter and that they're cared about, and that it's not just their classroom teacher who is building that relationship, but people from throughout the school. So that's really neat. This is the Husky Heroes that I was talking about earlier, where their names are called over the announcements and they come down to the main office. They get their certificate, get their picture taken. I think they feel like they're celebrities. It's really cool. The other students in their class are like, oh my gosh, you got Husky Hero. So it's a really neat way to recognize kids that are, making good choices and following the CARES values and whatnot. So that's exciting. We are having movie nights, again, a new initiative that we're doing. It's once a month. We try to tie it to whatever's going on for that month. So for example, for Hispanic Latino Heritage Month, we watched a movie called Underdogs, which incorporated kind of information about Hispanic culture. So it's really a very neat thing that we're doing. We've been getting pretty good attendance, I would say. As you can see, it takes place in the cafeteria. We have popcorn, we have treats, but it's really a nice way to build community. And as both a staff and a parent, I've really found this to be an exciting new thing that we're doing. The Turkey Trot is a really, it's a really fun fundraiser that we do. Everyone loves seeing Miss O'Connor dress up like a turkey for the month of November in honor of that. Every day she comes in dressed like a turkey. It's epic. So you can see here that the Turkey Trot is, for the older kids, it's a mile. For the preschool kids, actually that's my daughter on the right in the pink pants. It's just like a 100-meter run. And they get a chance to run and have fun and raise money for the school. There's lots of fall themed treats there as well, cupcakes and whatnot, which is fun. So you can see Miss O'Connor on the left in the pink pants. This is, that's Miss O'Connor. And then this is the trunk or treat. So this is something we do in October. Staff and parents basically, open up their trunk and the kids come by dressed in their costumes and they get to fill their buckets with candy. As you can see on the left, they're handing out books as well, which is really neat. My daughter was so excited by that. And so it's just a really nice way to build that sense of community, to see staff that, from out, in the evening, not during school hours. This is the weekly family newsletter that Miss Windsor does and has admitted that she really enjoys doing, which is great. It gives families a lot of information about what's going on at the school. There's a lot of photos, a lot of information about the activities that are going on. It's really neat for me, of course, as a parent to see everything that's going on in the school. It's really important that everyone gets recognized, I feel. And I think Miss Windsor does a really nice job of doing that. We also have a very active Facebook page that also speaks to all the things that are going on in the school, which is wonderful. Coffee with the principal is something that our family engagement coordinator and the principal do every month, giving families the opportunity to come in and get to know them better, get to learn more about the school, problem solve if need be, give feedback, whatever comes up. Again, just open door policy, come on in if you'd like, and it's just a really nice way to help families feel heard. And so we have some really exciting things coming up. We are doing our first Valentine's dance on Friday. We're gonna have a DJ, we're gonna have lots of food. The kids are incredibly excited about it. It is a family event, so that'll be great. We have a pottery night coming up that Ms. Cavella will be putting on, and a multicultural night as well. And we're doing clubs, which is really, I think, a really neat way for kids to, again, have more socialization, to feel connected to each other, and to learn things. So as you can see here, they're going to be doing mural making, movement, arts and crafts, all kinds of different things. And so the really neat thing about this is the kids have had some input in what they want for clubs, which one thing I love about Horace Mann is that they really try to involve the kids in the decision making, which is really important. And then school site council, again, that's just a way that we're able to share information and learn more about the school. All right.
Thank you so much, Ms. Burns. All right, let me see. Are there any other questions? Mostly they've all been, oh, we've got a few questions about the after school program. So I can talk about that a little bit. So there's actually a couple different options for after school programming. However, there is not an after school option for pre-K families at our site. Probably. I believe the Bates School, there is an after school because there was more interest at that point. So I can't say with 100% certainty that we won't have something, but probably we will not for pre-K. But for K through 5, there's actually quite a few options. Students can go to the after school program at the YMCA that the YMCA runs on site, and that's from the end of school until 6 p.m. They can also actually take a bus that takes them to the Y main site in downtown Salem. They could also take a bus to, there's KI Karate, there's the Catholic Charities has a program. I'm probably forgetting one. There's a couple. There's a Boys and Girls Club for kids who are 8 and over, and then St. Peter's is for the younger students. So there's actually quite a lot of after school programming, and the transportation is kind of included in it if they decide to go to those. I know at one point this fall, they did have to kind of slow enrollment for the YMCA because of some staffing issues, but they seem to be past that, and they're accepting new applicants right now. So I think if that's something that's really important to you, you just want to sign up directly with the Y right away to get that. Other questions? Our MCAS scores are pretty comparable with the other schools. And so, like I said, the after school, there's not usually a limit, but you would want to sign up soon. I think that's most of the questions. We're happy to take more questions at this time. If you have them, I will also just give the phone number again for the tour. So again, it's 978-778-4597. Please do call and schedule a tour. And I think that's kind of everything we have to say. And there's no more questions. I think we probably can wrap it up. It's just about 7:45. Right. So thank you so much for joining. And thank you to my panelists for coming out on Valentine's evening. And I really, really appreciate it. So, all right. Have an excellent night, everybody. Bye-bye.